It's been almost 1 year since Google went to war with small publishers, releasing update after update that smashed their traffic and earnings. But with the release of the August core update, that at the time of recording is halfway through rolling out, are we experiencing a ceasefire or even better, all-out peace and love? It's been 3 whole months since I last released a video on this channel when I declared 5 pivots that I was making in my business, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the impact of the update on my portfolio so far, what's worked with those pivots that I made, and crucially, what hasn't worked. I reported to my email subscribers last week that 5 of my sites are on the rise, and since then I've seen further gains across all of those sites, although one of my sites that up until this point had been on an upward trajectory, that has had some small hits. Now, before you get too excited, this is not a full reversal of the HCU and the core updates previous to the August one by any stretch of the imagination. However, we are seeing about 400% increases on a couple of sites and smaller increases on some of our other sites, with earnings up around 300% since this core update started to roll out. So yes, not full-blown reversal, but certainly steps in the right direction. This update is also really confusing because here's the thing, the site that we've seen the biggest increases for is the site that we've worked on the hardest, and not just on site but working on the branding off site and other channels and all that sort of stuff. But then we've got 3 sites that we've made no changes to whatsoever, and they've also seen increases. These 5 sites that have all seen an improvement are all pure affiliate websites. There's no monetization with display ads, but then there never was, but they are really heavily monetized with affiliate links. There's a mix of UK and US websites, and the site that has actually seen the biggest gains was built on an age domain, and then my second biggest revived site is a UK domain that was registered from Fresh. What I am seeing across all of the sites that have revived is the types of keywords that have bounced back the strongest are our review keywords. So pages that have got the word review in the title that are a specific and dedicated product review. We're also seeing our buyer's guides that have typically got best keywords, they're not bouncing back quite so strongly. We are seeing bounce backs, but we're not quite seeing them hit page 1. Now, as the update has continued to roll out, we have seen them start to creep a little bit higher, and we have got a few that have started to move on to page 1. But so far, that's what we're seeing. Those types of keywords are still, Google still seems to be favoring the higher authority sites and the user-generated content sites like Quora and like Reddit. Now, of course, we're already seeing people proclaim that they have run audits that have led to HCU Recoveries, and you might see some people start to sell courses or selling audits based off the back of those. What I would say at this point is to stay away from anything like that. I personally don't think at this point there is enough data to see what has actually caused the revivals, and like I said, I've got a number of sites that have seen a revival and I've literally made no changes to. So there does seem to be an element of randomness, or at the moment it appears random. It probably isn't. I have got some thoughts on that and we're going to dive into that right now. So my take on this is that the HCU tag has likely been made less important, or there are triggers to make it less impactful on some sites, and that this can be detected algorithmically. So let's break that up a little bit. The first part of that is the HCU tag or classifier or whatever you want to call it has been made less important. Now, I don't really think that's the case, to be perfectly honest with you, because if that was the case, we would see revivals across all sites, and clearly that is not happening. Instead, what I think is more likely is that Google has looked at sites that they deem to be review type sites or affiliate sites, content sites, niche sites, if you like, that align with what they're looking for. So think about sites and site owners who have been vocal, the likes of Retro Dodo, House Fresh, Jake Bowley's That Fit Friend, these types of sites that you would look at and say, yes, they are good sites. I think what Google have done is they've taken elements of those sites and then factored that into the algorithm. So if your site has enough similarities or hits enough triggers that are similar to those types of sites, then that is likely to trigger some kind of revival or start to almost take that classifier that was applied to take that away. I also think that kind of explains why those sites would be the first to see those recoveries. And I don't buy into this philosophy of these sites have been manually recovered and Google have gone in and done that manually. I think it's algorithmic, but like I say, I think the fact that Google and liaisons at Google have had dialogues with these site owners and have seen these sites, that's why those have almost been used. And not just those, I think there'll be sites that have been not being publicly discussed but have filled in the Google forms and submissions and stuff. And I think Google have actually tried with this update to take all of that into consideration. Now for me personally, with my sites, I have not been publicly vocal with any of them. I did not fill out any forms and send anything to Google. So there's no way that I think my recoveries have been applied manually. Maybe one or two could be, but to see that across 5 different sites, I don't think that's the case. And I think, and also they're not all tied to the same Google Search Console or anything like that. So I don't think they've just gone, okay, this guy's sites are good, we're going to give them a bump up. I think it is algorithmic, and that again feeds into why I believe what I've just stated. So with this site that's come back the strongest, what have we done? So the first thing that we've done is we've invested a lot of time in updating the content. We've got a team of editors that have been going in on this site and going through everything with a fine-tooth comb. Where there's been updates to products, we've made sure that has been put in. And then on the back of that, we've been adding boxes to each page, at the bottom of each page, that show the date that the update was made, and then the actual changes that have been made to that page. And if that's happened more than once, then you'll have a date and then the update that was made, and then the next time it's been updated, there'll be another date and then what changes were made there. So anyone coming onto that page can see when the updates were applied, but also, hopefully that can also be picked up by Google themselves. The second thing is we've invested a lot of time in YouTube for this site. So we've now got branded search coming back into the site. I'm not saying branded search is the thing, but we have definitely got referral traffic coming from YouTube. We've got other traffic sources, and not only that, but the YouTube videos also rank on Google. So we're generating traffic not just from the site showing in Google, we're generating traffic from the YouTube that is in Google, from YouTube itself, and then that's filtering back to the site. So I think these are all positive signals. Also the fact that we've got those videos embedded on the site, so all the engagement metrics on the site itself are going to be a lot stronger when people are watching these videos, obviously more time on site, maybe browsing more pages, that sort of thing. The third thing that we've done with this site is we've continued to publish content. Now, to be fair, we've not continued to publish at the velocity that we were before, but we have continued to publish content. And then the fourth thing that we've done, and this is a tweak in our content creation process, is we've moved more towards AI. So again, this kind of combats that idea that AI content can't rank or doesn't do well in the longer term, because this is a site that was hit, that we've now started to bring in AI written content, but with heavy human editing. And by the way, if you want access to the exact same human editors that we use across these sites, then you might want to check out my brand new service, Formatly, that has just had a successful beta testing, and you can get access to AI content with human editing and fact checking, or you can just have us go in and update your existing content. If you are interested in that, link is in the description below, along with a discount code, so feel free to go and check that out. Now, in terms of my pivots, some have worked and some haven't. So we're going to start off with YouTube. And what's really nice with this is you can see where we started to double down. So if we look at the last 365 days, you can see very clearly that we kind of were just treading water here. And then I went to Saigon I went to SEO Mastery Summit in Saigon in March, April time, and I met someone who basically said to me, I need to start doubling down on this channel. So that's exactly what I did. And here from around early June, you can see the views have gone from about 49 views per day up to where we are now, about over 200 or almost 200, just over 200 a day. And over the last year, we picked up 400 subscribers, but in the last 90 days, we actually picked up 167. So the stats there, everything is up, views up 76. And obviously this is all then transferring into sales and into traffic for the main site. The other great thing with that is that we're also seeing now page one rankings for the YouTube videos, but also for the website since it's come back. And for some terms we're position 1 and position 2, and then on others we might be position 3 and position 5, but we're getting a really good amount of real estate on page 1 of Google as a result of that. Now unfortunately not all pivots have been quite so successful, and I don't have time in this video to go through all of them. So if you do want to find out how I got on with rank and rent and parasite SEO and what else was there, age domains and social media, then you're going to need to be on my email list, because I'm going to be talking about that in Tuesday's email next week. So there's a link in the description down below to get yourself signed up to that, where I'm going to go through that in detail and give you another update on how this core update is doing for me. Thanks for watching, guys. It's good to be back. See you soon.